Is there going to be any more Alan Partridge? But now I can say pretty much until the day I drop dead, the answer will be yes. There will be some more, unless I drop dead.
Welcome to Heart's Evening Show. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much.
What's like a typical evening for you? If you got, it's not too busy, what would be like a regular thing you get up to?
I like to eat early-ish, which is like 6 o'clock.
It's like tea time,
yeah,
right?
Tea time.
Yeah.
Tea time. So I like to eat that, and then I can watch a movie or something, or a documentary. So that's my really exciting evening. I'd love to hear what people think about it.
Are you quite good at, if you were going to watch a film, at not being distracted? I'm terrible for, I think I recognise that actor in the back. Let me get his IMDb.
Yeah.
He definitely was in that episode of The Bill years ago.
Yeah, it's funny, I do, because you can pause now, can't you? You go, hang on a second. What I'm terrible on is, if I'm watching it with my girlfriend, then I will stop pause it to tell her an interesting fact that has just cropped up. The film has just prompted.
Your new film, The Penguin Lessons, it comes out on Friday. The saying is to not work with kids or animals. You've just done both. What was that like as an experience? The penguin in particular.
Well, I mean, Jeff, who wrote the script, said, I'm writing this film about a penguin. Like, well, do you want to do it? And I said, no, not particularly, no. I mean, I can't see why. Cuddly penguin films are not really my bag. I said, well, if you're making someone who doesn't like penguins, then I'd be interested.
Now I'm in.
And in actual fact, it was a delight because the penguins were real penguins, no CGI. We sometimes used a robot one when we didn't want to ask a penguin to do something that wouldn't be very pleasant. So the welfare was sort of paramount. But because part of the welfare, the sort of welfare of the animals was to not be noisy or frenetic on set, or too loud, or too raised voices, or too much noise. It was actually quite calm. They had a kind of the reverse of it. It was quite a calming effect having a penguin on set, because everyone makes sure the penguin's okay. Never mind about me. No one's bothered whether I was okay.
Steve's fine, it's all right.
Steve's fine.
Make as much noise as you want.
Like,
Remember when I did kids telly as a young lad? The trick to working with dogs is, well, certainly the handler, he had like a pocket full of chopped up sausages all the times, or the dogs wouldn't do anything. He said, is that the same with penguins? You need like a pocket full of sprats or something?
Oh, every morning I go up to the penguins. There was 2 hero penguins, Baba and Richard, who were a couple, actually. I go up and chat to them in the morning with my coffee, and stroke them and let them hear my voice, so they got used to it. Eventually, you can't get angry with the penguin if it doesn't walk where you want it to. You just got to wait till it does what you want it to.
You can't get mad at that walk, can you, as well? It's such a hilarious
walk.
And
it is funny, however much I try to be edgy and grouchy at certain points in the movie, or a bit cynical, when you do watch a penguin walk, it's very hard to be cynical about a penguin.
There's my favourite quote of the year.
It's nice when you find something that you can all agree on, and when people laugh at the same time, that sort of unifies them. And if everyone looks at penguin, they stop arguing with each other. They just talk about how interesting and cute penguin is.
It's hard to keep an argument going if a penguin walks in the middle of the argument.
I've tried. I mean, literally, and you can't be done.
There's a part of the film, your character Tom has to decide whether he's going to do the right thing or not. How are you in those type of scenarios? If people were breaking the rules at
Well, I saw someone. I was at Victoria Station, and one of those the bikes, the electric bikes you hire. That I don't do that. I saw a guy cycle up and to the station, and he just threw it down on the sidewalk, just half on the road, half right in front of the taxis. Threw it down, just walked off, and I ran up to him and, "You just going to leave that there?" And he sort of came right up in my face and went, "Yeah," and I went. And I got a little bit scared and went,
okay.
And I just picked the bike up and leant it against the wall, like just took it off the road.
I love the idea of that guy walking away from that exchange as well, going, I think I just got told off by Steve Coogan.
I did. It's funny, I was on the motorway once, a car broken down, and I was helping them push the car onto the hard shoulder. And as I was pushing the back of the car with the guy that was across, I went, "Are you Steve Coogan?" And I went, "Yeah."
We have a question that we ask all of our guests, Steve. It's called Please Stop Asking Me, right? Now, we're not saying these are good or bad questions. It's just a question that you feel comes up quite a lot. You feel like at this point in your career, you probably answered it enough. Do you have a Please Stop Asking Me?
Do you know what? I think I would have had at some point, like with regard to Alan Partridge. Is there going to be any more Alan Partridge? But now I can say pretty much until the day I drop dead, the answer will be yes. There will be some more, unless I drop dead. Someone else, I suppose, could try and take over the role. But no, not really, no. I mean, I'm very lucky that A, I've had a career that's lasted this long, and B, that I'm able to do sort of what I like to some extent, insofar as I can jump between comedy and drama.
Something I've always been such a huge fan of is I feel like you're such a good people watcher because your characters, whether it's like, you know, Tommy Saxondale or Alan Partridge, it doesn't feel like this is based on one person. This feels like this is a collection of a lot of people, and Partridge in particular, like, you're aware of like the cultural impact he's had on the UK in particular, right?
Yeah, it's been sort of slow, but I am aware of that. I do pick up on little things. I do find that the way I do the character 30 years ago, I look at it and think, oh, it's a bit too two-dimensional. He's a bit more real now because I put bits of me in. I put bits of like people I've seen on TV. I put bits of my dad in, my late father. Sometimes I put bits. It's like a soup. It's like a broth of different stuff that I chuck in, different ingredients.
Are you familiar with the social media page Accidental Partridge? Has anyone ever sent you any
Yes,
of
they
those?
have, but I don't do social media. But I quite glad it exists. If there's a particularly funny one, they send it me. I think someone once sent me one of Obama with his foot on a desk. But the foot was too high.
Yeah.
And so
I know the exact picture
stretching
you're
the
talking about.
trousers in the middle. Right?
I mean, what does that feel like? That there's not a week that goes by that a politician or somebody on the radio or TV does something that you can directly link back to Partridge.
It's gratifying. It's because when he started out, it was just a voice on the radio, and then someone said, I was some makeup artist, it was like 30 odd years ago, went, you do that guy on the radio? Oh my God, he's amazing. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm onto something. Yeah. And when politicians do say things, it's the great. If I don't like someone, what I do is I make Partridge their friend. The fun thing about Partridge is you can sort of talk about anything. And still get away with it, you know, and say things that I couldn't possibly say as myself without being cancelled. But because it's through the filter of Alan, I mean, I've had people laughing. You know, I get the sort of the Guardian intelligentsia who laugh because they laugh at him ironically, and then there's a group of firemen in there, and someone said, "What are you doing here?" They went, "We like Alan. He tells it like it is." I don't mind if they're enjoying it, you know, as long as they're not encouraging something.
This is great.
Yeah.
Steve, this has been an absolute dream come true for me. Thank you so much for talking to us. Steve Coogan, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.